Good morning, madam, and good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to present my assignment one in software architecture. So my name is Xiaopiu Yong, and this is my metric ID, and this is my program. So I will start by beginning my presentation. So the design pattern that I choose to present is singleton. So what is singleton? A singleton is a design pattern. Okay, it's a design pattern that ensure the class only can create one instances and provide global access to it. A singleton pattern is in order to restrict the creation of the instances more than one, though there is a singleton. So it's easy to understand is when if a singleton is using in the backend, when every time they have requested to the backend, so the backend only can using that instances or classes to connect to the database. So every time is using the same classes and same instances. Why using singleton? A singleton is very common use or widely used in software development because it helps to manage the resources efficiently because you only can create one instances. So it's also very good in maintenance. And anytime only can create one. So what is the problem solving is configuration management. So for component like configuration management manager, if you have multiple instances, it will cause like conflict to other parts. So a singleton design can be ensure all the component refers to the same instances and only provide one single point to access it. A problem to solve is logging. So logging is like when display in the terminal, we call it logging. The base display the message in the terminal, how the program will we call logging. So when you're doing a software development, they have a lot of message will be printed, especially when you need to debug, you need to read the log file. So a logging is basically used in singleton because every component you want to when you development and you want to debug it, so it refer back to the logging that is singleton design. So it's very useful and provide consistency point to access all the shared resources. Create one logging, then all the component when you want to debug, you can call back to the logging consistency output. So the third problem is avoid multiple initialization. Some resources like configuration file setting or external service only can be created one time because you cannot create two. Something like payment gateway instances, yeah, this only can create one in the same time using the one classes. So singleton is ensure that resources is only can create one. So how the code in singleton? Okay, a singleton must be a private constructor. Okay, must be a private constructor because you want to prevent an external initialization of the classes. And the variable we call variable, okay, must be private and statics, and then the name and hold a single instances. But the method must be public because the method is used to provide access to the instances to check. So let's see how the UML diagram. So as you see, this is the client. We don't see this when every time the client call to the classes that is designed in singleton. So this the classes name called singleton. Because singleton is a design pattern. Okay, it's not a class, but the class name he using is called singleton. So the we call it a variable is a private negative private static, and then instances singleton class name, and then the constructor must be private, but the method is public. So this is singleton. So how a class become a singleton is because of this. Because of this. Let's show you the code. Yeah. So now I show you the code. in Java. Okay, so public class singleton. This you can using other name, any name you can using. Okay, just follow the Java naming rules that can be. Okay, so the variable must be private and statics, and then the name, class name, and then you just put the instances. So constructor must be private. Okay, must be private. And then this one, method must be public, same as the bottom one using to the print. Okay, must be public. So this is here the part why the classes become a singleton, because like if as instances is now, then the instances will create a one, else you return back to the oldest one. So this the code make the classes become a singleton design pattern. Okay, so let's say if I will show, let's say if classes without a singleton will be like this: public public one constructor, and then just now the code is don't have, just how we doing our coding in OOP subject and other Java subject. This is normal classes. So the pro of singleton. So a singleton, he can control all the access to the instances because you only can create one. So it's very controller to the instances. Every resources when using to the instances, that he must follow the instances rules. Because of only you can create one, so it's very efficiency in memory. Global state management, that is very good in maintenance. Let's say you have 100 resources want to connect to the database here, and they must be using that singleton design pattern classes. So you just need to modify the singleton design pattern and add the roots, then you can very easy to manage. So the cons of singleton, yeah, because you only can create one, so that's mean if that singleton design pattern is we call a compromise, then all other resources will also very risky. So in only like got one door, one defense, can be said. So the second one is thread safety issue. In multi-threaded environment, if you improper to implement write the code, then the hacker or attacker he can using a called refragmenter to create another instances. Actually he can do that, but this can be solved in software code, no problem, but still have the safety issue. Okay, for testing challenges, is how say is like if let's say component 1 and we have component and component 2, and then they are using the singleton instances. Component 1 testing with singleton testing is no problem. Okay, but component 2 when testing that cause problem. So you fix the second component, but after you fix, then the component 1 got problem because of they're using the same instances, because that instance is singleton, so this caused the problem. So I'm going to demo the scenario is logging frameworks, because logging is very commonly using in singleton, and also is very useful in software development. Okay, because in real world, when you develop a software, then you need to display, when you're debugging, then you need to display the message, display the error, or display anything in a consistent way or in a centralized way. So a singleton design pattern will use in the logging framework. So now I demonstrate is a singleton, a logging class with singleton design pattern, and then a file process object, file process classes will use the logging to display the file process message. So this is the singleton, just singleton. So this class is designed in singleton pattern. Okay, so the class name is called local, and private static local, and private constructor. Okay, this one, like public static. This is the make the class become a singleton. So every time when they print, you can know this. Must be follow the rules of this one. Lot. Actually, you can, if you want to put like others also can one, but now I'm using lot, so you can filter the message so easily. Okay, this one. So this is, then you create another called file processor object. So public file processor object name, and then yeah, here this is the using the singleton design pattern instances. This one, create one, and then file is the important IO one. It's upside import, and then create a new file using back this one, and then if the file is not exist, then you print file is not found, then return. You will processing the file, then you just process, and then file is processed successful, process name. So anything happen, then we're using cache to cache the problems. Okay, still using the singleton locker. See, singleton locker using. Okay, so next, so here's the main class. So how we run, SAM initialize the locker, and then develop tune start, and then file process a new file, create the object, and then we process the file. So here is my file in my desktop, that's exists, and this not exist, missing one, this don't have. So you print when finished, then print the statement. So this is the output. So see, every time we follow rules, log. If you're using another, then you can use another, so you use it so easy to like debugging, very useful in debugging. So you don't need to waste a lot of energy to see the log, because when you software element, they have a lot of things will display. And every time when you debug, then you need to filter what you want to debug. So this, if you have a singleton design pattern, so it's very useful one. So just now I started and processing the file. This one exists. Got the file, but this one is missing. So the one is finished. So this is the output. So I will demo in NetBean. NetBean is this one. NetBean. Okay. NetBean. Can you see? Okay. So this is a singleton. Singleton, but this is non-related to the demo. This one is related to the demo. This one, private static local instances, private constructor, just this one. This is the code that make instances or classes become a singleton design pattern. This one, this one, and this one, these two. Okay, so this is public enter. See log. If you're changing like one. Okay, so this is the file process. It's now all using the local one, local SAM locker, processing the file. Every time you call, every time you're using the singleton, you must be call one. Okay, so we're back to the main. This is the main. This is the main. Okay, develop, then start. So this is don't have a missing one. So let's see the output. See, SAM. This is singleton. If let's say you have different component, how we doing like mobile development, they have few like many components, then you can using this. By this singleton design pattern way, you can so easily to find which component is problem, because when you develop the interface, then we have a lot of components. So when you merge them into a one pages, there's sometimes mostly they will have problems. So we can know which component got problem. It's easy to understand in singleton in design pattern, the locking framework. So that's it. This is my presentation, and thank you, madam.